This is the Garrett ACE 200i, a powerful entry-level metal detector that is both very affordable and very simple to learn. The ACE 200i includes digital target ID with a large 0 to 99 scale for more target information, 3 preset search modes, a coin depth indicator, a 6.5 by 9 inch Proformance search coil that can be fully submerged while searching, cam locks for increased stem stability, and sharp, responsive pulse width modulation audio. Assembly of your new ACE detector is very simple. Loosen the lower cam lock and extend the lower stem. Insert the mounting washers. Connect the search coil to the stem and hand tighten the wing nut. Loosen the upper cam lock. Insert the S-stem with the control housing. Adjust the lower stem to a comfortable height and hand tighten the cam locks. Wrap the coil cable snugly around the stem with the first turn over the stem. Insert the coil connector into the control housing connector and hand tighten. The arm cuff can be adjusted by removing the screw on the bottom and mounting the two-piece cuff to the other hole. To power on the detector, simply press the power button. To power off, simply press the power button again. To restore your detector to factory default settings, simply press and hold the power button. After about 5 seconds, you'll hear a double beep and you'll notice that it has switched into coins mode, which is your factory default setting. When your ACE 200's batteries become weak, this low battery indicator will switch on. You'll still maintain full performance, but this symbol means that it's time to replace your batteries soon. Your ACE 200i is always going to indicate all targets that you encounter in the field, so it's important that you understand target ID. Let's take a look at that. The ACE 200i's target ID includes this target ID legend at the top. This lower scale indicates your current discrimination pattern, or what targets your detector will sound on. Anytime your detector locates a metal object, a target ID cursor will appear on this upper scale. If the target ID cursor appears above a segment that is not active because of the mode you're using, the detector will remain silent. Each target will show with a more precise digital target ID, assigning it a value between 0 and 99. Ferrous or iron items will indicate more toward the left side of your target ID legend, and it will show as lower numbers. Non-ferrous targets, thicker targets, and targets with higher conductivity are going to display more toward the right with higher target ID numbers. When a target is encountered, you'll also notice that its depth is indicated in 5 centimeter increments. This depth indicator is calibrated for coin-sized items. Be aware that metal items that are very tiny, much smaller than a coin, may actually be sitting shallower than what they show. And the other way around, items that are very large, much larger than a coin, may actually be deeper in the ground than what they indicate on the screen. So keep in mind that the depth indicator is based on coin-sized objects. Also, for your digital target ID, it's important to take note that you want to get your target centered, get it pinpointed as best you can. If you got your target very well centered and you keep your coil swing very level and very flat above the target, you're going to get a more precise target ID. The ACE 200i makes 3 distinctive tones based on a metal's conductivity. I've got 3 targets on the ground here, so let's go over these and listen to these 3 different tones. For a low tone target, I've got this steel washer, and low tone is going to be anything with a digital target ID reading from 0 to 20. So that's your low tone. For mid-tone, I've got this piece of foil. Mid-tone is going to be anything with a digital reading from 21 to 40. There's the mid-tone. And then high tone is going to be anything with a reading of 41 or higher. So that's your high tone or your bell tone there. Now let's take a look at the different discrimination patterns or search modes available on the ACE 200i. Push the mode button to select between 3 preset discrim patterns. In 0 disc, nothing is notched. All 5 of the top row pixels are active. Use this mode when a target signal is inconsistent or when you don't know exactly what type of metal you're looking for. Jewelry mode ignores most iron trash, but finds rings, watches, bracelets, and other types of jewelry. Coins is designed to find all coins and eliminate common trash like foil, iron, and pull tabs. Be aware that some small jewelry that reads the same as foil could be ignored by this pattern. There are 4 levels of sensitivity. Increased sensitivity when you're looking for a very small item or a very deep item. Decreased sensitivity when the detector is behaving erratically due to excessive metallic trash or highly mineralized grounds. It's time to begin searching with your ACE detector. If you're new to metal detecting, try hunting in areas with sandy and loose soil, or maybe even a playground lot, to make it easier to learn how to use your detector to pinpoint and dig targets. Keep the coil close to the soil at all times and swing it very level for the best results. Walk slowly in a straight line, swinging the search coil side to side at a rate of about 1 meter per second. Overlap the coil by half its length over each search area. When you find a target, it's very important to pinpoint as best you can. This will help you recover your target faster and to dig a smaller hole. Draw an imaginary X on the ground with the search coil at the place where the maximum sound occurs. Many veteran treasure hunters will scan back and forth over the suspected target area and then move to the side in order to scan again in a perpendicular fashion over the same area. Dig your recovery hole at the cross point of your imaginary X. Always make as small a hole as possible and always fill in your dig area completely. To better understand your ACE 200i, it's recommended to do some bench tests. And what we got here is you want to get an area where the detector can lay very level, have the coil straight up like this and away from any metallic objects. I've got it set in the 0 disc mode, and I've got a variety of targets here so we can hear low tone, mid tone, and high tone. You can also see the digital target ID numbers that come up with these. Be aware though, if you're used to seeing digital target ID or VDI numbers on other machines, what you see on the ACE 200i may look different. You may see some different readings on certain targets. Different machines are going to act differently, so be aware of that. And that's the point of testing and learning the machine you're going to hunt with. So let's start with some low numbers. This is iron. This is a little washer. Low numbers, low tone sound. I have a nail here. And if I change the orientation of the nail to the coil, notice I've got fairly consistent low numbers. As I go this direction with it, they start jumping around a little more. That's the orientation of targets, especially with iron. So that's an important thing to note as you're testing. Here's a piece of foil. Got a mid-tone sound up in the high 20s on the numbers. Small gold ring. Now we've jumped into a high tone sound in the mid 40s. A pull tab from a drink can. That one's hitting up in the high 50s. Again, all high tone sounds. Small silver coin, getting up into the 80s on the numbers. Here's a larger, thicker silver coin. Jumps up higher toward the high end of the 80s. Now after you've done some air testing with targets on your bench here, it's good to take them and bury them. So what you want to do is create a test plot by clearing out the dirt, get all metal, any kind of trash out of there that could cause a reading, and then bury some of these same targets. Put them flat, put them at different depths, even change the orientation to have some of them standing up, and go back over them again and see how they read. The more you learn from bench testing, in the air, also in the ground, the more you're going to understand your machine, and the better you're going to do when you get out there digging. When this low battery indicator appears, it's time to change batteries soon. Nickel metal hydride rechargeable batteries can be used, but they may have a shorter life per charge than standard alkaline batteries. 1.5 volt lithium batteries can also be used, but 3.7 volt lithium batteries will damage the detector and should not be used. Access the batteries by sliding the cover off the control housing. Remove the batteries when the detector will be stored more than 30 days. Avoid extreme temperatures, such as storing detectors in a car trunk during the summer or in sub-freezing weather. Periodically disassemble your detector and clean the stems, control housing, and search coil with a damp cloth. Protect your search coil from scratches and chips by installing a Garrett coil cover. Expand your search options with one of these ACE series accessory search coils. This small Super Sniper coil and this 5x8 Double D coil are ideal for searching in tight areas and in separating numerous adjacent targets in trashier hunt sites. Larger concentric search coils provide the greatest detection depth and the largest possible detection fields. The Garrett ProPointer is highly recommended for all detectorists to speed their recovery of detected targets, to dig smaller recovery holes, and to identify multiple targets in close proximity. The ProPointer AT can even be used underwater to a maximum 10-foot depth. This environmental cover-up helps protect your control housing electronics from dust, mud, and rain. To learn more about your new ACE detector and to see the latest Garrett accessories, be sure to visit garrett.com.